my friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Lexi, and today we're doing Mystery Monday. This is a brand new series that I'm going to do on my channel, brand new for the new year. So happy new year. This is my first video of the new year. Let me explain a little bit about what Mystery Mondays is going to be. So I have here a mystery canvas. It is an all crystal mystery canvas that I did get on Aliexpress. I have no idea what this image is. I have no idea what genre it is. I have no idea what it possibly could be. I don't know if it's animals, birds, trees, flowers, food. No clue. Abstract. No idea. It could be anything. So it is all crystal rhinestones. They're squares. They're in this container here, which I'll link down below where I got this from. So what we're going to do is I have the canvas sectioned off. I have all of these numbers on each section. Each week we'll do a random number. And while I diamond paint this mystery painting, I will tell you about a mystery. And that's going to be Mystery Monday. I've been wanting to do this for so long, but life has been in the way. But now I feel like I finally have time to do it and work on it. So I have it all set up and ready to go. Let me tell you a little bit about everything that I'm using here. So yes, the kit was from Aliexpress. I'll link that down below. I'm using a drill tray from Cat Proof Diamond Painting Trays. I'll link this down below as well. Everything I'm using I'll link. I've got a diamond painting pen from Butterfly Effect Wares. It's so pretty. I've just got some tweezers from Diamond Art Club. I've got some putty from Painting with Pitties, and then I'm using this in the multi-placer, and then in my single placer I'm just using some glue dots. I've got a little drill trash minder for any icky drills that we don't want to put on the canvas. I'll throw them in here. And then I've got my trinket tray, which lights up. Both of these things I made. And if you want to check out my shop, it is lexisparklecraft.com. I have different resin items that I make that are available on there. So yeah, so that is everything that I'm using today. So we will go ahead and we'll pick a square, and then I'll tell you about the mystery that I'm gonna discuss today because it's a good one. So I think we'll go ahead and do number 10 today, just randomly picking a number here, and we'll get started. I'll go ahead and cut away the release paper and then we'll get started here. Let's see, did we get it all? Yeah, here we go. Alrighty, so that was number 10 that we removed. I have a pretty little sticker on there. And we will start diamond painting this. Looks like maybe a bit of color blocking, and it looks like I have the canvas upside down. The symbols are upside down, but that is okay. We will get started. Let's see. I'm gonna do this color that is kind of the majority of this box here, which is the check mark. And this is the 5200, so it's like the clear color. So let's get working on that. So I'm so excited. I've never done a mystery kit before, so I'm very, very excited to go through this. And I have bought mystery kits before, just never completed them. So it should be interesting to see how this goes. So let's get some rhinestones in there. Oh my God, look how beautiful. Sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. So yes, I'm very excited. Oop, spelling already. Very excited to see how this goes. Okay, so let's get going. So I will tell you about a mystery that still remains unsolved today. And it's one that, I don't know, I think is very, very interesting. Now, it does not involve any kind of crime or anything like that, but it is very, very odd and perplexing. Ooh. So it is the mystery of the Oakville Blobs. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. I had never heard of it until I started doing some research and found the Oakville Blobs. So this happened in August of 1994. And like I said, it's a really perplexing and bizarre event. And this took place in Oakville, Washington State, in 1994. And one night, residents started witnessing these blobs just raining down from the sky. And they were like clear, gelatinous blobs just raining down from the sky. Now, these blobs were literally described as being like clear jello, like the consistency of literal jello. And they were raining down out of the sky, according to eyewitness accounts. And they were falling down like on, onto the buildings, onto the cars, onto windshields. And it was actually making it difficult for people to see out of their windows. They couldn't get the blobs off of the windshields with the windshield wipers because they were just these gelatinous blobs that were falling onto the cars and kind of causing chaos and panic because people were like, what is this, first of all? This weird substance falling from the sky. And then it was obscuring their vision as they were trying to drive. And that was one police officer that was on duty that night was saying, he couldn't see out of the windshield on his car because he couldn't even get the blobs off of the windshield. So these blobs covered the entire town. Now, what's so weird about this is it only happened in one town, Oakville. And it didn't happen just once. It happened more than once. It happened about 5 times over a period of 3 weeks in this one town. So that's really strange. And what really added to the mystery of all of this was what the blobs were composed of, because naturally people wanted to know what this substance was that was raining down on them. And so scientists analyzed these blobs to try to find out what they were. And the composition of them was not normal, not what they were expecting. And it really added to the mystery because nobody had seen anything like this before. So initially, what the scientists found inside of these mystery blobs was the presence of human white blood cells. How weird is that? So they have this weird, clear jelly substance that is seemingly raining out of the sky. And they test it, and there's human white blood cells in it. Very strange. So this unusual composition of these blobs really left scientists puzzled. They were unable to explain the origin of the blobs, how they could possibly be here, and what this strange substance was. And how this could be happening, multiple times over 3 weeks, but in this one specific spot in Washington. However, what is really weird is that later on, the presence of white blood cells or human white blood cells in these blobs was actually, it appears it was debunked, because when they further inspected the cells that were inside of the blobs, they found that the cells were actually different sizes, and the cells had no nuclei, which human white blood cells do have nuclei in them, so they could not have been human white blood cells. Inside the blobs, they also found some bacteria. They found 2 different types of bacteria. Now, it's interesting that they found some bacteria in there because these blobs actually did make people feel sick. So over the 3-week period where there's multiple instances of these blobs falling down, people came into contact with them and reported getting actually violently ill. And in some cases, people could not breathe and became very sick after making contact with these blobs. And sadly, it's reported that even some animals may have died after coming in contact with the blobs. So after this happens over a course of 3 weeks, it doesn't happen again. So it came on all of a sudden, happened a few times, people got really sick. They investigated it, and they still could not determine what it was. And then it never happened again. And it's very, 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 very strange. Very, very weird. So let's talk about some of the theories that were in place that people came up with to explain where did these weird blobs come from. There's a lot of theories out there, and they range from, was it scientific experiment? Was it a freak of nature? Was it extraterrestrial? Was it some kind of biological warfare type of thing? There's a lot of different theories out there of what this could have been. So, conspiracy theories definitely arose, and I don't think any of the theories can be proven at all. There's just really nothing that has, nothing concrete anyway to explain what these blobs were. So one theory was that the blobs were actually jellyfish or parts of jellyfish that had been somehow transferred, I guess, into the rain clouds by the Air Force while they were doing bombing runs. But when they studied the pattern, or the flight pattern of these bombing runs, they determined that that claim really had no validity. It did not coincide with where this happened, and it didn't seem feasible that that is what happened. So that theory was kind of shot, which, I don't know. I hope that's not it. That seems very unpleasant for the jellyfish, to be honest with you, because I love jellyfish, and I would hate to think about them being killed like that. The other theory was that these were actually astral jelly or star jelly, which came from outer space somehow. Apparently, there is a thing called astral jelly that supposedly will fall during a meteor shower. However, that claim has never been substantiated, and a lot of people just think that's like a myth or a legend, and that doesn't actually exist, and that there's no way that that's what it could have been. So that's never been proven either. There are other claims that this was actually waste from an airplane. So maybe like a commercial airplane dumping toilet waste, which, the FAA has denied. It says it couldn't possibly be that, and that if it were waste from an airplane, it would be blue and not clear. I guess maybe people thought that could have been it, since there was bacteria in there and people were getting very sick from it. And maybe that would have made sense as to why it happened multiple times over, you know, a certain period of time, and it was raining from the sky. But it seems like those claims were never substantiated either. And one other theory that I read about was that the blobs never came from the sky at all, and that they actually came up through the ground. When it rained, all of a sudden the blobs came up through the ground, but that really doesn't go along with the eyewitness reports that these blobs were literally coming down from the sky and that they were covering everything, landing on the windows. You know, there was the police officer that said they could not use windshield wipers and things like that. So in my mind, I don't think that that claim really holds up either, because that just really doesn't line up with the eyewitness accounts that these things were literally coming out of the sky. And so all of these years later, I mean, when you think about it, 30 years later, there still are no answers. And, you know, this was on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, and all these years later, nobody knows what it was still. It's very, very strange. And to my knowledge, it doesn't sound like it's ever happened again, or either in Oakville or in another place. I don't know. So, you know, despite all these extensive investigations and speculation, the Oakville Blobs really do remain an unsolved mystery. So let me know what you think it could be. Do you think it could be extraterrestrial? Do you think it could be just some natural phenomenon that we just have not discovered yet? Do you think it could have been some kind of biological weapon that was being, you know, used, or some kind of experiment? Let me know down in the comments what you think. I don't know. This one just really was interesting to me. I just thought it was so weird, and I just thought that, you know, after 30 years, we still don't have any answers about it, and especially now that we have so many advancements in technology, it's kind of weird that we still haven't discovered what this was. It's so weird. And it must have been wild. It must have been wild to live in Oakville in 1994, in August 1994, and not know what the heck was happening, you know? And it's really sad that people got sick from it too, and it sounds like some animals were hurt during it too, and that's really awful. So, I don't know. I hope one day we know what happened, because it is so bizarre and weird. I would love to know what happened. So let me know what you thought about this mystery. I'm still working away here. I'm going to continue to work. I'll do a time lapse and we'll come back when the square is finished. I'm really enjoying working on this. The sparkle is beautiful, and I can't wait to get more of a picture of what's going on here in this little square, and maybe we'll be able to guess what this mystery picture is. We've got our square done. It looks great. I'm honestly so excited. I still have no idea what this picture could possibly be, but I'm encouraged because I see stars, and I love stars. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I had a star as a mascot and in my logo, and I love stars. I love sparkles, and so I'm highly encouraged that there's some stars in this painting. I still have no idea what it's going to be, but I like the colors too. We've got some purples and blues going on. So yeah, I'm excited. I have no idea what this could be. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below. Let me know what you thought about our mystery that we talked about today. What do you think the blobs were? What do you think our mystery painting is going to be? Next week we will uncover another square at random and diamond paint it, and we'll see how the painting turns out. If you haven't done so already, please think about subscribing. Hit the like button. It helps out my channel. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!